Hi guys, Jurassic Junkie here, and I want to go and play my Xbox. Welcome to the Friday Night Rant. So yes, I do apologise straight off the bat for having a 3-4 week gap. I don't know what it is, but the Xbox One is here and I cannot stop playing it. But before we crack on with news and stuff, I want to start with a sponsor by drink. And today we're going with Stone's Ginger Punch. So, never had this before, and I'm going to go from the can because I'm a savage. That's not bad, more ginger than I thought actually. And I've got a bit in my beard. So also I want to point out that I know November has passed and this is when I should have shaved my beard, but to be fair, as a bald man, and I've been bald for a decade or so now, and it's very nice, for the first time ever, I can actually use shampoo, and I will admit, I've got a comb now, and I comb it because everyone that's got hair, just enjoy it, because the thing is, when it's gone, yes, you miss it, and then to have a comb and to shampoo, I'm just like, I'm a proper human again. So yes, I don't want to get rid of it just yet. So then let's do something different this week. Instead of starting off with some Nintendo bashing, let's start with some Nintendo praising. So yes, there's some good news that's come out for actual Nintendo, and I'll start off with, first of all, you've got your Unified Network ID, which is something which I don't know why Nintendo didn't put there in the first place, and I've always complained why it's not been the case. You've got an ID for your 3DS, you've got one for the Wii U, you used to have friend codes, all very confusing, and now you have one network ID that ties them both together. And with combining your name together simply means you can now combine your credit, which I think is absolutely brilliant because Jo had some credit on the 3DS. She didn't want to buy anything digitally on the 3DS, but there was plenty of stuff she wanted on the Wii U, and Nintendo wouldn't let her use the credit from the 3DS to Nintendo, which is ludicrous. It's like, it's free money. I want to spend it on your product, Nintendo, but you won't let me. But those days are now gone, so credit now is one across the systems as well. Then to keep going along the happy news, they've now got a Miiverse which has actually come out for the 3DS. And I have to say, everything is coming up absolutely sunshine for the 3DS. You've got now your combined credit, you've got your network ID, you've got your Miiverse, you've got a billion games always coming out. And I think the 3DS is fantastic, and I know I say it all the time, and it's the Wii U. So that leads us to Nintendo turning around and saying that they have got a big announcement for the VGX. Now, a lot of people was skeptical, saying, is this going to be this kind of game? Is it going to be a new Zelda? Is it going to be a great new title for the actual Wii U? And speculation went crazy over Twitter, people trying to guess what this big news is. Now, even myself, I was excited for it. Now, we've got the Wii U, not particularly bothered about playing it, especially that I've got an Xbox One now, because I'm just dedicating my life to that system at the moment. But the point is, I always like a good bit of gaming news. So while I was watching the VGX, I was like, this is going to be brilliant. I had this feeling that Nintendo was going to drop this bomb that made everyone go, Jesus Christ, now they're a contender. And I did actually hope that was going to be the case. So up pops Reggie, and I have to say, I do actually like Reggie. So Reggie shows his face, and you're like, oh, what's this going to be? A fucking another character for Donkey Kong. That's it. That's the big news. That's the hype train crashing into a school of children. It was terrible news. Now, don't get me wrong, if you are a Donkey Kong fan, to have Cranky Kong, that's pretty cool. But it's not even newsworthy to the point where you just go to IGN and say that kind of stuff. Imagine if like Halo or Little Big Planet turn around and says, we've got a new character. You'd be like, okay, and you'd carry on playing. You wouldn't really listen to that kind of news. But yet when Nintendo do it, it's like, look at this great news! And I was absolutely shocked that Reggie even turned up to announce that kind of news. Now, I know Nintendo tend to hold a lot of the good information for the actual Nintendo press conferences. But the point is, if I was Nintendo, I wouldn't have activated the hype train button. I wouldn't have said we've got some big news. I would have just said we're showing our faces at VGX and we've got something to announce, and just kind of play it down because the information that you give us is boring. So like I've said a million times now, 3DS, good, Wii U, come on, sort it out, Nintendo. You know you can do it. So while we're talking about the VGX, let's talk about that massive pile of shit that I actually watched for 3 hours and then wanted to top myself. So yes, we know that every time gaming does a gaming award, it's piss poor. I've never seen a good one yet to date, and it's such a shame because we're a billion-dollar franchise. We've got so many great minds in this actual community, but yet we cannot pull off an award show. So first off then, we've got Jeff Knightley actually being one of the presenters, and I do actually like Jeff Knightley. He's clued up in gaming. Every time someone talks to him, he knows stuff, or he can jump to another topic, and he knows his shit. So anybody that knows this stuff, I've got respect for straight off the bat. Then you've got Joel McHale. Now this is a guy who's a funny guy, and I understand you got a presenter, stick somebody in there funny, might bounce off each other, great stuff for the camera. But this just didn't work. Now once or twice, I'll hold my hands up, Joel did make me kind of just smile, and he had that odd little gag that made me go, meh. But majority of it was just hit and miss, and the problem was, every time there was actually getting onto a topic or discussing or even talking to a developer. Now, as gamers, we want to listen to that information, we want to speak to him. And then Joel just comes in and just takes the subject off on a random tangent, tries to stick a joke in, and even once or twice his own jokes up and says, no, over to you, I've messed my joke up. So that alone was absolutely terrible. And personally, the thing that actually made the show even worse is YouTubers. Now, I know as YouTubers, we are a very big community, we're very vocal, and on top of it, we make some great content. But the thing is, this is the gaming awards, not the YouTube awards, so we don't need cameos and segments of YouTubers in there. So then we had PewDiePie, if I said that correct. So yeah, PewDiePie was actually on there. Now I've seen some of PewDiePie's work, and to be fair, again I would say he's hit and miss, but I've watched some stuff and it has actually genuinely made me laugh, and I think he can be funny at times. But the point is, the people that he's attracted as his subscriber group know what he's about, and they've subscribed to him because they like his quirkiness. Now you subject PewDiePie to the masses that are watching the actual awards, anybody that's not seen him will not get his kind of character, and it's a horrible way to showcase a game. So you've got the game Dying Light, which is something I actually want to play. Now I'm a bit skeptical about this game because, to be fair, I always think Dead Island's is slightly broken but incredibly fun, and I expect this game to be the same. It's going to be great fun, but I do think that some of the animations and stuff is not going to be completely polished. Aside from that, the point is, they was there to show us off some video, and I wanted to see it. So they get PewDiePie to actually play it, and by the looks of it, they got him to edit the clips as well. So it was just jump cut, jump cut, jump cut, and there was no actual time to take in anything that was happening in the game, and it was him just making his weird noises, and that is no way to showcase a game off. Then on top of it, you get Smoosh that actually do a video, and I don't find them guys funny at all, and what they presented, I don't even know what that was. Did we supposed to laugh at it? It's that bad, I can't even remember what they did, so why even have them there? And then you get Mega64 show the faces. Now these are some guys, I keep saying hit and miss, and I definitely say Mega64 is one of two things I think they're absolutely brilliant they've done, but what they produced that night was absolutely dog shit. It was terrible, absolutely terrible. And then to top it all off, you've got these developers going on there trying to showcase off their games. They're trying to talk about it, and you get comedians just jumping in, over talking them. You get YouTubers talking absolute crap, and then they're saying there's going to be like a concert outside for Grand Theft Auto music, and I was like, oh, that's going to be pretty damn cool. And my God, the gentleman that was outside, and I've put picture above so you exactly know what I'm talking about, was fucking idiots. Now I hope to God these men was on crack, and that justifies their actions, because just standing there going I like cheese into a camera isn't funny. It's killing time when we could have spent it talking to more developers, and it was just horrible to watch. So what I'm going to say after all that is, VGX, sort your out. You have great games, so it's easy to talk about them. You have developers saving trailers back to give you exclusive content. How can you make that show terrible? And again, I will watch it next year, because every year we watch it in the word of hope, and we hope it's not going to be as bad as the last one, but surprisingly enough, each one gets worse. So the next thing I want to talk about is something that's really pissing me off. So we've now got next generation, we've got the Wii U, we've got the Xbox One, and we've got the PlayStation 4. And we all know that these companies want us to go digital. Now, you go back 2 years ago when I was doing videos and I was saying I would never go digital, I like my physical, and all the reasons for it. And over time I'm getting warmer and warmer to the idea of going digital. And that idea hadn't changed. When I got the Xbox One, I was still like, I'll buy the odd digital thing like I did on the 360, but I don't want to go fully digital just yet. But after using the Xbox One, especially the ability to say Xbox Go To and then say a game, for people that have not tried it, I can understand if you don't say, well, that's not a reason to buy a game. But for the people that have, oh my God, it's so nice to play a game and just go into other games without getting up and changing discs. But then again, other people have different reasons to want to go digital. For instance, when the MP3 boom happened, a lot of people was like, no, I like my CDs, I like my vinyl, I don't want to go to MP3s. But now thinking about it, Who on earth would want to have a massive shelf of CDs? Personally, I wouldn't. I like them all in one place so I can just jump and chop between them all. And I'm starting to feel like that for digital gaming. I'm not particularly bothered about having a load of games. I prefer to have a shelf of merchandise now than I would to actually have a load of game cases. So the thing is, Microsoft, Sony and Nintendo all want us to go digital, mainly because obviously one, that means there's no second-hand sales, and two, it costs to print CDs, to make cases, to get them shipped across the country, across the world. It costs to actually have them in warehouses. The overheads on actual physical games are way bigger than digital. Digital, there isn't any practically. They sit on a server and they replicate themselves a billion times to everybody that wants to purchase one. But yet we haven't seen a price drop in digital, and it is ludicrous. Now I'm going to take Assassin's Creed as an example because obviously it's across all three of the platforms. So these prices was taken today in the UK. So we've got it for $54.99 on the PlayStation Store, $54.99 on the actual Xbox One Store, and strangely enough $55.99 on the Nintendo Store. Now these prices are absolutely stupid because we all know we can go down to our local game shop, buy a physical one a lot cheaper, and the thing is, at the end of the day, we can also sell that thing. So even if we buy it for 40, probably trade it in for 20, the game's only costing us 20 quid. So why are we going to drop £55 on a digital version that we cannot sell when we can buy it for 20? And to top it all off, you can actually go to Amazon right now and buy from Ubisoft Direct the actual Assassin's Creed Collector's Edition for $57.99 with all the nice merchandise and bells and whistles. Now a lot of people are respectful to the actual industry we're in and go, I want to buy digital because I want that money to go to the developers instead of going to the actual stores such as GameStop and all the different places. Now I respect people that have got that, but the point is Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo need to sort their shit out. They need to go, right, we've got them where we want them now. We could get them all into the digital boat, but to do so, let's drop our prices down. Just buy £5 or £10, and then we'll be like, well, you know what I mean? I could go into town and pick that up. I could get it right now. It's going to be £10 cheaper. Fair enough, I can't sell it, but it's going to encourage more people to go digital. And the stats are proving that people want to go digital as well. If we're looking at for the last 6 months of actual gaming, $2.88 billion was actually generated in revenue. Now, $1.77 billion of that money was digital. Now, this goes between digital games, DLC and subscriptions, but the point is there's a massive chunk, more than half, is actually now the digital. So I just cannot understand why they would actually do it, because like I said, they're going to be making a hell of a lot of money through digital. The developers and publishers are going to be a lot more happier. Personally, I'll be happy to have a load of digital games, but the point is I am not willing to convert until you drop your prices down. For Christ's sakes, look at Steam. Now I know when the AAA titles come out, they're not as cheap as the normal Steam games, but the point is it's still cheaper than what we end up buying on Xbox One. So yes, that rant, I'm just going to leave that rant there because I can go into it forever and a day how annoying this is. So the next thing I want to chat about is something that you've more than likely actually seen in the news, but I just want to talk a little bit more about this. So the next thing I want to talk about is the 19-year-old Cockend. Now I call him Cockend for two reasons. One, he's an absolute idiot, and two, I didn't write his name down on my tablet so I don't know what his name is. But anyway, Cockend, 19-year-old lad, wants to buy an Xbox One. Decides to go on eBay. Most of you know where this story's going. But the point is, he's gone on and somebody was selling an Xbox One photo for 400 and something quid. Cockend decides to buy it, and I can understand if the actual news was, I didn't read it said photo, you'd go, oh, poor lad, you know what I mean? That's a shame, somebody kind of duped you. But he actually turns around and says he did see it said the word photo, but I checked his feedback and it was all positive, so I thought it was okay. The time it took you to check that guy's feedback was about the same amount of time it would take you to message him and say, is this a photo or a console? And the thing is, I've purchased things off eBay where I've not fully read the description, but that's when I've been buying a 2-3 quid product and I've just gone, oh, I'll have that. And then it's turned up, I've gone, oh God, it's in centimetres or not inches or whatever. But the point stands, when I'm about to drop £400 or £500 on a product on eBay, trust me, I am reading every last thing on the description of this item. And if I'm a bit dubious, I'm contacting that user before dropping coin to it. So anyway, Cockend, surprisingly enough, gets this photo of an Xbox One. Now this is the thing that most people haven't talked about, and it's two things. One, Cockend got his money back. Now, there's a mixed debate, people saying, well, he shouldn't get his money back because it was sold as it was described. And someone else is saying, well, he was blatantly scamming people, so yes, the guy should be banned. But either way, Cockend's got his money back, so yay. But then, and the worst thing is, Cockend actually lives in Nottingham where I am. The worst thing is, CEX, my local game store, gives him an Xbox One. So to reward stupidity, you get your money back and you get a free Xbox One, which is absolutely ludicrous. Now yes, fair enough, CEX that gave him the actual Xbox One probably did it for publicity. But the point is, I don't understand that kind of publicity, because he's giving him a free Xbox One. It don't make me go, you know what, I want to trade in some games today and run to CEX. If I'm going to trade some games in, I'm going to use CEX anyway. They don't need to give an Xbox away for publicity. So anyway, we're rewarding stupidity. This guy's an idiot. And on top of it, he turns around and says, oh, I was buying it for my 4-year-old kid. Oh, everybody feels sorry for me. And I'm sorry, no 4-year-old's asking for an Xbox One, because there isn't really any games on an Xbox One for a 4-year-old. So anyway, as I said, either we're rewarding this idiot for stupidity, or this guy is incredibly clever and he's done this on purpose. Now, have we actually found the user that actually sold this? No. It claims eBay's giving him his money back. Now, I've tried to get money out of eBay, and I tell you now, it's taken a long process to get money back. This guy got it done in a few days, which is a quick turnaround. And next minute, he's a mini celebrity for being an idiot, granted, but he's a celebrity. He's all over the internet for making this up. So I don't know what to think. Are we just going, you're an idiot, here's some free stuff? Or is he very, very clever and just saying, oh, my 4-year-old didn't get an Xbox One and got a free one? So, to you cockends, you clever, thick bastard. So that's me done and dusted, guys. I am now going to shoot downstairs to play on Zoo Tycoon, because I had to send it away sadly for a week because the actual case is smashed, so it's back. So I can get back to looking after animals and cleaning up poop. So before I do love and leave you, I just want to drop you with a question of the week, and that simply is, are you willing to go fully digital? Now, if you are, what's holding you back, and why are you willing to go fully digital? Because it makes more sense to be physical. Obviously, you can trade them in, it's cheaper, you can share them with friends, whereas digital has a lot of constraints. But yet, me and many other people are willing to do it. So if you are willing to do it, just explain what's actually the perks of going digital. As always, guys, I hope you all have a great weekend, and thank you very much for watching. Cheers, guys. Bye.